Coach, you went pretty small. Did you have the size on the floor that you needed to be able to rebound with them?
Well, they're small. I mean, they go small ball, so you had to match it because they were just putting us in ball screens, and their guys made plays. Obviously, Kyler Edwards, if you look at his percentages going into it, not nowhere near this. And, he had a special game, and made plays. Kevin McCullough comes off the bench, 4 offensive rebounds. Those second chance points were huge for him and them. The big thing was, obviously the second chance points, 16-6, and then turnovers, points off turnovers, 30. We turned them over 16 times, but we got 20 points off it. But when you really, you analyze a game, it's a 10-point game, 12-point game, and it's the points off turnovers and the second chance points are probably the biggest difference makers. So. I told them on the 2 days going into it and on the board today, I said, I wish I could tell you how they're going to guard. And I could script things. You got to play basketball. You got to make plays. You got to read. They switched everything to start the game. It kind of got us stagnant. Obviously, I don't know what was the 10-0 or whatever it was, and spotted them. And to our guys' credit, they did not stop battling. We came back 3 different times. From big deficits, and you tied a game up. But now it's gut check part. It's the nitty-gritty part of the game, and now you got to make the right plays. And we turned it over, I think, 2 or 3 times in that stretch. We missed some free throws, and then they got some second chance points, and so they came very determined and made the right plays and had some guys step up.
You referenced going a little smaller tonight. Of course, Mac just plays 6 minutes. Was that matchup related or more what he, I guess?
Well, some of it was his fouls, to start the game again. And he doesn't have the energy and the motor that we need. And I'm not sure what's wrong. I wish I know. I talked to him. I feel bad for him because he's a better player than this. And he's had his days in the past where he struggled. But you had Dean always there, and you always had, not all the time, but you had him there quite a bit. And, between Levi, Dean, and Xavier, you could go small, and you were still pretty effective. So, it obviously, and then Saturday, he's got to be better if we're going to have any chance against their inside presence.
Obviously, you're on the grind right now and in a tough stretch and 0-4 right now in the Big 12. What do you tell the guys right now? What are maybe the key bullet points?
Well, one, they care. There was in the locker room, they cared after the game. They cared. I think it doesn't show it, but I think we're ready to play. I just don't know what the starts are. To be honest, it's not very good. We started Dejuan, so maybe, I thought maybe it would give us a little more energy, a little more lift. I started Levi to start the second half, just because Mac had been kind of, not had the motor that we liked. Just trying some different things. But we just, you got to keep caring, got to keep believing. We also got to execute when it comes to the crunch time part of the game. You play so hard, and you give yourself a chance, but then you don't execute when it counts, and you don't make the nitty-gritty plays that really matter.
This is the highest shooting percentage you've had in the last in more than 2 years. Is it just one of those things where it seems like you put your finger in somewhere and another?
Yeah, it's a dike. It keeps, a little kid in the cartoons. You keep putting in something in there. One day it's free throws, the next day you can't make threes, then it's turnovers. It just seems like it's different every game, and I don't know. We went some zone, probably maybe should have played more zone, to be honest. In that but they hit that big one. I think Kyler hit the big one at the top of the key in the second half when they had been hurting us with ball screens, so I just said let's try zone once, and. We tried it in the first half with Xavier with 2. You're already undermanned with Mike, and we had 4 guys with 2, I think, in the first half, and so we went zone. It probably got us back in the game a little bit. Got the zone press, they turned it over, gave us a little bit of a chance. But, again, it's 20 turnovers, just too many. David and between Cartier and David, that's 10 turnovers from your point guards. And, it's probably too many.
Bruce, how encouraged were you tonight by what you saw from Montavious?
Unbelievable effort. I love 9 for 9 from the free throw line, 11 and 6. He allows us defensively to switch and do something, and he's not perfect and he knows it, but he's done a great job for us. There's no doubt. And, he keeps battling and, he's done way better. I'll be honest, way better than I ever anticipated. So very, very happy with him. Antonio, Monte's a little ahead, just the basketball feel than he is, but I think Antonio's going to be a really good player also.
You expecting a Mike back on Saturday?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer. They go through the protocol and the tests, and then there's all the days you got to wait until you're allowed to do it. I just feel bad for him. It's killing him. He's sitting in a room in the dark and texts me 2 times, Coach, this is boring. So, but you gotta get it back.
How frustrating is it to see David and Cardi combined for 10 turnovers?
Yeah, that's what I just said. It's just too many. And the one thing we've talked about, I think they took 4 or 5 charges. We said when you get in there, you got to jump stop. And now read it. If they're all sitting there waiting to take a charge, that means somebody's open. They don't have 7 guys on the court, and we just didn't make some of the right reads and take care of the ball at the right time.
Bruce, they weren't perfect together by any means, but did you like the energy and some other stuff that was out there when you played Monty and Antonio together?
Yeah, they're small ball. You asked about, first question was small ball, so we had talked about, I'd love Mac and Levi to play better, but, if they weren't going to play well, then we talked about playing both those guys together, and we did that a little bit. They definitely give you some more energy than, and they play hard. I mean, for young guys, they battle, and they got to keep that. They got to keep that. Now they got to get better. It just, you look at Antonio, just 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Those are killers. They got to get better, but they play their butts off. Just same with Dejuan, and that's a great thing to start with if you got a great motor like that.
Montavious, why do you think you're starting to be able to figure things out more right now?
Just think I'm starting just like to read like on the offensive end, just like where I'm supposed to be, the gaps of where I'm supposed to be, and like the areas of where that dish off pass could be, and just like being ready to go up and finish. And that's just the most important thing. I think I could do way more. So I'm just trying to figure out the little ways I can just do way more to help the team out. So that's the important thing.
Xavier, how encouraging is it to see the guys, continue to fight despite falling behind 15 points in this game, and you could have just folded, collapsed, things like that, but you kept going?
We got a tough, resilient team. We got to be tougher at certain moments in the game, but we got a lot of guys that's just going out here, play as hard as they can, and we can't fault them for that, but we just got to get some plays that can go our way.
Bruce, you know how difficult it is when you overturn so much of the roster. Texas Tech kind of going through similar to what you guys, co-league champs last year. What do you think of how they've been able to at least kind of stand the fight?
The thing they added was obviously Clark. He's a major college player. We recruited him. They actually called us after last year. They called us 2 years ago too, but they took him. You got Morietti. Hollifield is a really good role player for them. So now you got 3 veteran guys. And then, and Edwards played in the national championship game. What do you have, 8, 10? And, pretty good player. And tonight he was special. So they've been able to, turn around. But we talked about it with our guys. We win today. We're both 1-3. So, it wasn't like they were like light years ahead of us in the game, but credit to them. They made the plays and found ways to, I think I wish Xavier could guard everybody, but I can't, and we got some guys that are probably as good at defenders as they need to be. And that's where we get caught. It seems like all year the other guys are able to go off, and it's made it really tough.
Bruce, did you get an explanation about that call that led to maybe a technical?
No, I wasn't mad about the charge block. I even though I think if you watched on the replay, he was in the circle. I think at least that's what everyone said to me. I wasn't mad about that. I was mad because Xavier got knocked down when the ball was. They should never came to a charge block call because Xavier went for the ball and they knocked him. He lost balance. He was lucky to get it, and that's all I was mad about. Make that call, then the other one doesn't even matter, and we go to the free throw line, and I guess he just thought I kept griping. The one official was in the huddle with me talking to me. I wasn't. I was just talking to him. So, it is what it is. And maybe it got us fired up. We did come back after that, so maybe I need to get more of them.
Now we have another tough matchup with West Virginia coming up. What do you see with them?
Just their physicality and, they play very hard. They're defending well. We're going to have to rebound and fight them off. Hopefully we can have somebody and Cardi has pretty good numbers, 19, but, and had good shooting. That's his best shooting of the year, but probably need 2-3 guys to really step up and be special if we're going to have a chance, and we're going to have to rebound. There's no doubt about that.
Xavier, the team seemed to turn down threes and take it to the rim a lot more. Was that kind of a point of emphasis for tonight or for several games and you just started doing it?
We're just taking what's open for us right now. We got to take the open shots when we get them. And we knew they were taking charges, so we're cautious about attacking. But we're just taking what the defense gives us, and that's what Coach has been telling us to do.
For both Montavious and Xavier, Coach mentioned that he's kind of baffled by some of the slow starts, especially today. Is there anything that you guys have been able to put your finger on as why just those first couple minutes in games aren't going your way?
We just come out focused and locked in. We know we do a great job preparing for the game and scouting the game. Coaches got a lot of calls for us. For the defensive wise, we just got to come out and execute and do better in the beginning of the games.
Yeah, I just think it's just coming out, just staying focused on. But mainly, we play good defense, and then we just at the end, it just they hit a shot, and then we just break down. I just feel like we just need to stay more focused and just stay more focused so they don't just hit a crazy shot,
Xavier, as a senior guy, I know you haven't been through this before, but what do you tell the younger guys kind of to keep their heads up through this all?
I got to lead the way, show them how to do it first and foremost. I can't have breakdowns on the court. Also, just being that leader, being that senior figurehead for us, telling these guys that this is not the end. We got a lot of basketball left, and we got a lot of great chances to do that and have a lot of opportunities to show what we're about.